Hello, everybody, and welcome to The List Critics. I am NecroVMX, and with me, as per the usual, is Peyton Brown.
How's it going, everyone?
You suck, Hunter P. So,
that guy's gonna be haunting me for the rest of my life.
we're gonna be beginning as we normally do, with 21 instances of Tumblr getting deep, or as Peyton likes to think of it, shit that goes over his head.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Alright, starting out with O. Dion says, I want to be a villain so I can just saunter everywhere. The heroes are always sprinting, always running. You ever see Darth Vader run? Hell no. I ain't about to either.
I've seen him run a couple of times.
Ooh, Darth Vader?
That was in episode 3, though.
Yeah, but, well, he wasn't Darth Vader
Yeah.
yet. He was Anakin at that point. I mean...
Well, technically, after he was Christ and Darth Vader, he was still,
but when people think of Darth Vader, they're thinking, the suit, the mask, the helmet.
the samurai helmet, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a giant 7-foot penis. Sinfilth says, self-care is drinking 3 pots of coffee and getting into a knife fight with God. Wow, okay.
Huh?
I don't quite get it, but it sounds awesome. Bidoof says, Red Hot Chili Peppers, if there was a way to fuck California, I would. That's, that's most of their songs.
Oh, yeah, because almost every single...
They love
they're
California
good, at least.
in a sexual way. But it's good. It's funky. Chessie says, thinking about bagels, who I love. I think Chessie might be slang for Tanya. It sounds like Tanya, doesn't it?
Possibly.
Her and her upside-down
Yeah.
bagels.
I was about to say, she got an upside-down bagel or something?
Maybe. Hot Senator says, email to my professor. Hey, I won't be coming to class tomorrow because I sneezed over 37 times today. I would be a disruption of the class, and we can't have that. Listen for yourself. Attachment me obnoxiously sneezing.mp3. Wow. That, yeah.
Somebody was desperate.
That's a way to get out of class, huh?
Yeah.
Official United States says, me showing off my university degree. That's right, everyone. I paid multiple dollars to the government in order to attain sporadic sprinklings of knowledge that I forgot 2 months after each class ended. Yay, college!
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Peyton Brown is online on Skype. Did you know that? It just
Sweet.
Happened. It just happened. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but we've been having this glitch where it keeps telling me Peyton's online, even though, duh. Capacity says they cannot believe another week is like beginning. We just finished one. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And technically, that's when we're recording this, too.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna strike that one from the record, because that was a whole nother level of stupid right there. In Bed with Boys says, I have nothing to say, but will I shut up? No. Oh, spoken like a true politician.
Pretty much.
Bitchy Code says, why you so shy? Bitch, I just met you 13 minutes ago. Relax. All right. I see you there, Bitchy Code. All right. Grilled Cheese Sandwich says, I wonder what my smell is. When people wear my clothes or sleep in my bed, what does it smell like? What is my scent? Desperation, apparently.
Possibly.
Okay,
either that or some whacked out fetish.
Perhaps. Okay, Sophia says, museum date, coffee shop date, art gallery date, walk in the park date, late night walk date, nap time date. And then, as if that wasn't stupid enough, Chicana Spice replies with obtuse, rubber goose, green moose, guava juice, giant snake, birthday cake, large fries, chocolate shake. What is even going on here?
That's what I'm wondering.
It's like a fucking Wiggles record here. Okay, Shitty Idea says, an alarm clock that stabs you in the throat if you press snooze. That is a shitty idea.
Well, no shit, that's a shitty idea. It's like, what the fuck? What's the point of waking up?
Well, that's the
You're going to go right back to sleep, and this time it's going to be like
It's like, fuck you. But let's face it, who actually uses
Permanent sleep test.
Who actually uses alarm clocks anymore? Like, seriously, why am I
have
going
to
go to Walmart and spend $40 on a clock radio when I have a cell phone? It just seems weird, you know?
Well, it's good to have a couple. It's good to have a few alarms running around,
I haven't had an
especially when
issue
my
with it.
phone's battery's all whacked out.
Oh, that'll do it. Well, I'm always leaving it on the charger when I'm sleeping, so... Necro Phil of the Future says those 10 seconds after your laptop dies where you just hopelessly stare at the dark screen. Well, I don't have a laptop, but I can kind of relate to it.
Oh, God.
A weird thing happened, Peyton, a couple of years ago. I was sitting right here where I'm sitting now at my computer. I was working. It was my night off, and I was working on Kazara stuff. It was about, 1, 2 in the morning. And I had a bunch of lights on, and all of a sudden all my lights went off. And I sat there going, did my power just go out? But my computer's still on. That's the thing. I'm looking at my computer, and I'm like, all the lights just went out all at once. But my computer's still on. And it was the weirdest thing. Some of the things in the house were working, and others weren't. Like the microwave was working, and the fridge was working, but the lights weren't working, and the furnace wasn't working, and a few other things weren't working. It had something to do with one of the what do you call them? One of the circuits went bad. I Am Wiz says, the year is 2060. iPhone 842 is released. The screen touches you. Yandir Shinigami replies with, those numbers don't add up. It would be 49 or 50 in 2060. And Attract links them to the Wikipedia article for joke. And then Athena Keen replies with, how are my kids supposed to sing along to Moana if it's in another language? The same way I sing along to Lion King, Brenda. Tell your bitch-ass kids to up their fucking game. Oh, I think that was the next one. That was... All right. There's two separate ones. That's funny, though. It's true, like, Lion King comes on, everybody's like... You have no idea what you're saying. But you do it anyway. Nope. It's true. This person's...
Very true.
This person's name is The Queer Without Fear. Sounds like the world's shittiest superhero.
Oh my.
That's like the world's shittiest super... It's like, like Daredevil's the man without fear, but this guy would just show up and be like, hello! Alright. He says, pick your battles. Pick fewer battles than that. Put some battles back. That's too many. And then Miss Voltairine replies with me, frantically trying to hold on to my armload of battles falling out of my pockets. No, I need all these battles! I'm just about done. My brain just grabbed a suitcase and walked out the door. I don't even know what the hell happened there. Academic says,
I don't know either.
Active voice, I loved your book. Passive voice, your book was loved. Passive aggressive voice, I love how you felt the need to write a book. That's accurate. It ain't funny, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
Really funny short joke says, my wife told me to take a spider out instead of killing it. We went out and had drinks. Cool guy, wants to be a web designer. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. Web designer. You motherfucker.
Hey, it's a high-paying job. I got a buddy who gets
No. You see, the joke is so dumb that Peyton didn't even... Web designer. What do spiders do?
Oh.
It's so dumb it didn't even register as a joke to Peyton. That's how bad it was. Melodoodle says, nothing pisses me off more than the fact that 90% of women's jeans have non-functioning pockets, but baby clothes have proper pockets. What are babies carrying around that I'm not? Baby wallets? Fuck off. And MX Cloud says, when I was a small child, I carried around a little tiny pumpkin in my pocket for months. And then Melodoodle, who's the original poster, says, I retract my original statement. That is fair and important. Okay, then.
Halloween?
You know, Peyton, I keep hearing this thing about women's clothing having fake pockets. Why? Do you happen to know? I mean, I guess you wouldn't. I don't know. I asked Tanya about that.
The only hidden pocket I know about are hot pockets, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, but they're talking like apparently there are pockets on women's pants that they look like pockets, but you can't actually put anything in them.
What's the point of those?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I gotta ask some women. I gotta ask like Tanya and Brandy and Julian. I gotta figure this shit out because I keep hearing about it.
All right.
Librarian Arky says, I love when small children identify all quadrupedal animals as doggy. It always reminds me of the time Plato offered the definition of a human as any featherless biped, and Diogenes busted into the academy with a plucked chicken screaming, Behold, a man! And Capturing replies, I love the implication that you were there when it happened. Good times, right?
Huh.
So, yeah, if a human is any featherless biped, then, like, that would mean, like, wouldn't a monkey be a human at that point?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that don't... Plato, up your game. You've been dead for a couple hundred years, but still, quit the shit. Okay, I love this one. Bob Artist says, when someone says they don't like birds, and then they post a picture of a parrot, which is holding a piece of paper in its beak, and printed on the piece of paper says, eat a bag of dicks. That was the last one. That kind of made up for some of the really dumb ones in there, but out of 21, I'm gonna say 16 on this, Peyton. What do you think?
12.
Wow, I love when you say 12.
That's the best way to put it. Like, what the hell?
Well, I did like the bird telling people to eat a bag of dicks.
That gave it 3 right there, if you want to
okay.
be honest.
It was going to be a 9 until that happened. All right, 15 Twitter jokes everyone should read. Nathan Usher at the Nate Wolf says, oh, so this bath is only for birds? Pass me my pants. I have a pocket copy of the Constitution in there I'd like you to read. I'm laughing. I don't even think it's funny, but I'm laughing.
I see what he's trying to do.
Yeah. The Hype at the Hype says, math teacher, want to come do the problem on the board? Me, no. Math teacher, I wasn't asking. Me. If you were an English teacher, you'd know that you were. Oh, savage.
Ouch.
That is good. That is good. I like that.
Somebody get the burn heel.
Yeah. Who was it that said you're gonna need a burn heel? That was Blaine, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna need a burn heel. Blaine was a creepy motherfucker. Jackie Bouvier at Jackie M. Bouvier says, I love my husband, but what really motivates me to stay married is how much weight I'd have to lose to date again.
Wow.
Oh, she speak the truth. She speak the truth. Regular Fred at Regular Fred says, nobody seems to care about my dyslexia until I spit in the tips jar. Okay, that's kind of funny, I guess.
You're definitely ain't getting tips after that one.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a spit jar. Amanda Hugginkiss at Kale Love Girl 77 says, introducing myself to my new boyfriend's parents. Hi, I usually don't make it this far.
Wow.
That's a way to break the ice. Joe at Joe Robinow says, there's a special place in hell for people who pay for hell premium.
How do you pay for hell premium?
I don't know, kill some extra people? Or... They got installment plans, I don't know. You gotta talk to the webmaster. Yegreen at Yegreen says, God creating dogs. Oh, these turned out great. I'm going to want all of these back at some point. I can relate to that.
Yeah, I got 2 of my babies downstairs, too. That's why it was taking me a little bit longer than usual to get up here.
I could relate to that because I had a dog that died last week, so yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Well, my mom's getting 2 new puppies, and I'm going to probably go over there next Saturday to check them out. That's when they're coming. Dan Mentos at Dan Mentos says, Doctor, what brings you here today? Me. My car. Doctor, writing in chart. Not sexually active.
Ouch.
Savage, I love it. Oh, I know it's just a joke, but I want to believe that that was based on a true story, that a doctor did that. Oh, wow. Dream Ghoul, the Dream Ghoul just posts a picture of a cat and a dog in a car. The cat's just kind of derping around looking out the window, and the dog is looking up at the owner with a very worried expression on its face. And they posted, the exact moment my dog realized the cat was coming home with us for good. Is this thing doing in here?
Is he gonna take my place?
Yeah. Mike F. at Mike Fossey says, it's stupid when girls say they can't find a guy, yet they ignore me. It's like saying you're hungry when there's a hot dog on the ground outside.
Way to put yourself down.
I think that was the point, though, yeah. Because, you get these guys like, no, I'm stuck in the friend zone. Well, shut up and stop being a pussy.
Ask him out. What the worst that's gonna happen? If
Yeah,
she
exactly.
says no, she's
Move
in the
on,
friend zone
then.
for her own fucking problem.
Yeah, move on then, like, it's not that big of a deal. Siege at C. Joiner says, never throw sunglasses in an argument. If they land perfectly on your opponent's face, there is no known comeback.
Huh?
I guess, like, it would be like one of those Thug Life memes where the sunglasses come down out of nowhere and just land on the person's head.
Right.
Brum, brum, brum. Church! Oh, no, it's Chooch at Chooch says, yes, hello, 911. I just accidentally liked my ex's vacation pic from 2004. Ooh, that is an emergency.
Yeah, it is.
That's when you have to, like, convince them that your cat was walking around on your laptop or something. Wolf
Have
Puppy.
fun getting.
What's that?
I said, have fun getting out of that one.
Oh, yeah, you gotta say, like, you got hacked or something at that point. There's no going back. Wolf Puppy at Wolf Puppy says, sad to think all the animals in Space Jam are dead now. What?
They were CG characters. What the hell?
They were fucking... Alright, that's not even funny. It's stupid. Max Dylan Ash at My Name Isn't Dave says, Mom, just audition. The worst they can say is no. Later, Judge. You're worthless and you will amount to nothing. Mom. So, Mom, guess what?
Yeah,
That's more depressing than funny.
it is.
Finally, Wint at Drill says, awfully bold of you to fly the Goodyear blimp on a year that has been extremely bad thus far. Well, to be honest, if they had to have a good year to fly the Goodyear blimp, that shit would have been grounded for quite a while now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, out of 15, what do you say, Peyton? I personally think this was pretty good.
I'll say it was a 9.
I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say
All
10.
right.
Okay, I have another one from Pleated Jeans here. It's you know what? I kind of wanted to do this with Jesse, but I'm going to try this one out with you because I want to see how you react to it.
All right.
It's 21 wonderfully stupid life hacks.
I'm listening.
I'm sure you've seen these life hacks things all over the internet, and this is kind of making fun of them. I know Jesse in particular really hates the whole life hack trend, and he would have enjoyed this, but I want to see how you react to it.
All right.
Dumb on purpose, obviously. Here's the first one. Cutting your tennis balls in half allows you to store 2 more balls in each can, saving space.
Yeah, but now you can't use them anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the joke. Turn all those extra plastic bottle caps you have laying around into fancy orange holders. I guess you could do that if you're an asshole.
And if you want your room to smell too.
Yeah. Money tip. Rob an IHOP. You're in international territory. The cops can't arrest you.
Diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity. Need to whip up dessert in a hurry? Dump a bag of Oreos on the floor and eat the Oreos off the floor like an animal, you piece of shit. Wow, that took a left turn that I did not expect.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
Right into a friggin' wall.
I thought it was going to be like dump the Oreos on the floor and like smash them up or something, not eat them off the floor. Life hack. Keep changing colleges and get free Amazon Prime. All right, okay. I like it. Eggs are fantastic for a fitness diet. Don't like the taste? Add cocoa butter, flour, and bake for 30 minutes. In case you're wondering, that's chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Don't have a bookmark? Try using ketchup instead.
That's cruel right there.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Ice cream, 2 frozen, a scoop. Microwave your spoon for 30 seconds. Yeah, if you want to break your microwave, that's a great way to do it.
Most of the time you put the ice cream in there and you only do it for like 8 seconds.
But they're talking about putting the spoon in there.
Aluminum spoon.
Any metal, any kind of metal is going to be a bad idea. It's going
Watch the sparks fly.
to throw off plasma and probably burn out your motor. This one doesn't have text. It just has somebody heating up a slice of pizza with an iron and a hairdryer.
That's desperate right there.
For those moments when you have electricity for a hairdryer but not a microwave. Coffee get cold, heat it up on the stove. And it's a paper coffee cup on the fucking electric range. I love it. Oh. This person has a hole in their sock, so they just painted their toenail black with a Sharpie to make it match.
Somebody's going to say you might want to go see a doctor for that.
Okay, this next one is ridiculous. It shows a banana, a piece of bread, a knife, and I don't know what you call those things. They're like protractors, but they're triangles.
Yeah.
So the guy uses that to cut triangles out of the bread and then puts the banana between the 2 bread triangles, but the fucking banana's still in the peel. I don't know what's going on there.
Next, I'm thinking too hard on this one.
Yeah, and then it shows the same asshole with he's wearing a hoodie backwards, so the hood is in front of him, and he's got like a bunch of popcorn in the hood.
Actually, that is pretty helpful.
I would have totally done that when I was like 17. You know? I don't know about now. This one says, life hack. Instead of cleaning dishes, print out a picture of a clean sink and place it on top of the dirty dishes.
Oh, I've seen that meme already.
It's all over the place. This guy put his phone into a roll of tape, and he's got the tape all around his head, so he can walk around and look down at his phone like an asshole.
That sounds kind of derpy.
You have no idea. I got to show you this fucking picture. I'm sending you this picture so that you can see the full derpitude therein. There you go.
Oh, Christ.
Look at that, right? What an idiot. I love it. This one says, if you're up really late studying for finals, try swapping your contact solution with coffee for a quick pick-me-up. That was posted by the Denny's official Tumblr account.
I believe it.
And then there's another person that replies with, Denny's, what the fuck? It's amazing. DIY your own bookmark for just $1. And it's like literally putting a dollar bill in the book. Hey, whatever you got on hand, right?
Yeah.
Avoid wasting time brushing your teeth by simply adding toothpaste to your food instead.
That sounds like something Homer Simpson would do.
It does sound like something Homer Simpson would do, and then he'd be rushed to the hospital. Because that's not good for you.
No, it's not.
I like this one. This person's heating up a panini between 2 those giant AC adapter blocks.
Yeah.
Those things can get pretty hot. That's funny. And these are like those huge ones that computers have, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, remember the one that the Xbox 360 had? It was like 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Good lord. Bathroom tip. Going number 2, discreetly cover up your poop sounds by continually shrieking at the top of your lungs. I think that one's from Obvious Plant, too. That's funny. Cooking hack. If you put too much water in your rice, toss a few phones in there.
What?
You know how if your phone gets wet, you can pack it in rice to get all the moisture out?
Oh yeah.
So they're kind of doing the reverse algebra mode of that shit. Like, oh, did you add too much water to your rice? Just throw some phones in there. Okay, so remember that the title of this was 21 Wonderfully Stupid Life Hacks. Out of 21, Peyton, how wonderfully stupid were these?
21.
Yeah, I gotta agree, these were balls out retarded. I think my favorite, meaning the one that made me laugh the most, was the ketchup bookmark. That's just
Yeah.
that's just hilarious. I love that. I got another one here. This is 15 Savage Comebacks.
Ooh, this one sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so this first one's from Queen Cobalt. It says, friend just needed my phone to call his mom. I said, just hit redial. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
Someone, this is from Robin's Egg Tea. Someone told a story on Reddit once about a kid in like grade 5 who was being heckled by his classmates when one of them shouted this golden classic, "Why are you so fat?" And before the teacher could jump in, he snapped back, because every time I fuck your mom, she gives me a cookie. I believe it has achieved urban legend status. I've actually used that one myself. You know, like comments on YouTube, like, why are you so fat? Every time I fuck your mom, she makes cookies.
This chip cookies even.
Yeah, this one's Chavanel Middle School, fake bitch. Does it bother you that nobody likes you? Geeky kid. Does it bother you that your face doesn't match the color of your neck? Hardest I've ever seen a teacher laugh.
Jeez.
Oh, that's good. This one's from NPC Human. In order for me to be insulted, I'd first need to value your opinion.
Ouch.
I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I'm gonna have to put that one in the vault. This one's from Sandra Bohr. At a convenience store, nasty woman was rude to the old guy at the counter. Some cool dude. Hey, there's no need for that. Mind your own fucking business. I'm a veterinarian, and bitches are my business. Oh, nice. Nice. I like it. This is from Junk Core. My favorite. Guy loves to taunt his coworker about his rapidly receding hairline. He runs a hand over the coworker's bald head and says, "Feels just like my wife's ass." The bald coworker runs a hand over his own head and says, "My God, so it does." That reminds me, there was a joke kind of like that in one of the Star Trek movies. I think it was Insurrection, where Riker shaved off his beard, and Data is there, and he says, "What do you think, Data? Smooth as an android's bottom." And Data reaches out and touches his face and gives this look like, no, not quite.
I think that was Insurrection.
Michelle Rice posted this one. My buddy told me that this one happened back in middle school. There was this huge douche whose mom had recently gone to prison for tax evasion or something. Anyway, this douche walks over to my friend, they despised each other, and just out of nowhere calls him fat, to which my friend instantly and stoically replies, "It's because my mom is home to cook dinner."
Ouch.
Wow. And congratulations on him for probably getting his ass beat after that, because holy shit. This one's from Bob Byler. Sprayed an ex-girlfriend with a squirt gun, and she immediately fired back with 6 months of dating is the first time you got me wet. There is no comeback for that. That's bad. That is harsh. That is very savage.
That's more than savage, man.
That guy's balls must have jumped up into his body at that point.
Sorry, man. Game over. We lost.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do there. Just cut your losses. This one's from Briannier. When I was 7, I was at a crowded McDonald's near Disneyland. I tried to squeeze through the really long line waiting to order food and accidentally bumped into this woman with her 2 kids. She turned to me and said in her most sarcastic and accusing voice, "Well, excuse me." To which my 7-year-old self instantly responded, "Why, did you fart?" A few people in the line laughed, and I continued on my way. She did not look pleased to be told off by a 7-year-old. Nice. This one's from the Stoned Fox. In high school, I found out that I share my birthday with both the beacon of manliness Steve McQueen and the legendary illusionist Harry Houdini. I got excited, insisting that this coincidence meant I must share some of their defining characteristics. In response to this idea, my older sister suggested, well, that would certainly account for your rapidly vanishing masculinity.
Ouch.
Wow. His sister is quite quick with her brain there. That was good. I like it. Rude and Reckless posted this one. I've posted this before, but a buddy who works in an inner-city school once heard one student say to another student, if I had a nickel for every stupid thing you'd said, I'd beat the fuck out of you with a pillow bag full of nickels. I'm going to have to remember that one, too, because that's fucking great. This one's from Judy Schutier. This was actually John Lennon said this one. A reporter said to John Lennon, they think your haircuts are un-American. And John Lennon says, well, they're very observant because we aren't American.
Huh.
I mean, the Beatles were from England, so that's accurate. That's not like that. This one's from Adrian87. An obese doctor was giving my grandmother shit about going slightly off her diet and being a little bit overweight. So she hit her with this gem. Oh, shut up, you cow. Do you even own a mirror? My jaw dropped.
Ouch.
It continues. My jaw dropped, nearly broke my foot. Then she grabbed my hand and told me, we're leaving now. I just refuse to be lectured about my weight by someone who couldn't even see her own vagina without a mirror. I was, of course, let out in shock.
I probably would have been too.
That is... You can't see your own vagina without a mirror. Nice. Oh, boy. Levir03 says, in junior high school, our bus driver told a kid he was going to kick him off the bus. Rhetorically, the bus driver asked him how he would get to school then. The kid immediately replied, I'll ride your wife to school. Nice. Nice.
Oh, that is weak, man.
Hey, man, you know,
not like
not,
weak as no damage, more like savage,
no, I
man.
mean, you know, it's totally weak to be burned by a kid like that. As a grown ass man, you know, getting burned by a kid, that's tough. This is the last one. Chatty Cat D44 posted this one. My uncle once saw my mother and said, well, your hair is more gray in it. And she said, if I wanted to hear from an asshole, I would have farted.
Yeah.
All right, acceptable. It's not quite on the level of some of these other ones, but acceptable.
I think I had a T-shirt that one time said that.
Yeah. Out of 15, I'm going to say 13 on this one. What do you say, Peyton?
I'll say 14.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. Now, I got a bunch of shit open. Let me just... What am I picking next? Let's see. Didn't I do this one already? Yeah, I did this one already. Okay. Let me go over to Facebook because Will Haymar sent me another list. I didn't read it, but I know he sent it to me. Okay. I got to get to my... My brain is rapidly going on vacation here, so...
Hang in there, brain. I'm awake. You could be awake, too.
All right, here we are. I was looking at my messages, and I'm like, where the hell is it? And I realized I was looking at my messages, not the NecroVMX page's messages. Okay, so this is from Will A. Haymart Jr., and he says, 10 awesome games you forgot existed.
I'm listening.
Do you mean specifically me, or just in general?
Probably in general.
I would hope so. Okay, number 10 is Medieval. I remember that game. That was with the little skeleton guy, right?
Yep.
On PlayStation. He says, I will sing this game's praises until the day I die. The story of a noble knight with the worst luck of anyone in mankind. The only real flaw was the shit platforming sections, where even analog input was clunky at best. That aside, Sir Daniel Fortesque was a runner in the PlayStation mascot race, but remains unknown. The reason he's number 10 is because he's gotten a couple of nods, including a PSP remake and appearing in All-Star Battle Royale.
Oh, shit. I actually do have it on here, though, on my PlayStation 3.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That was a pretty good game. Number 9 is Dino Crisis. I don't believe for a second that anybody forgot about Dino Crisis. I think we just try to not think about it too much. Do you remember that shit?
No, I don't.
Oh, really? Okay, it was on PlayStation. Well, the first two were on PlayStation, and then I think the next one was on Dreamcast. It was basically Resident Evil, but instead of zombies, it was dinosaurs.
Oh.
And then the third one was really bad because it wasn't just a survival horror game with dinosaurs. It was a survival horror game with dinosaurs in space. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. This is what he says about Dino Crisis. Literally proof that history repeats itself. Capcom shit the bed with this series, just like they did with Resident Evil until the recently released Resident Evil 7. This game was fucking unapologetic to your central nervous system, with a unique item screen that allowed you to combine pretty much anything to make more ammo or stronger health items, along with competent, terrifying AI. This game was an instant classic. It's too bad they fucked it up by making it an action game that ended up killing the series faster than the Warriors can blow a 3-1 lead. Go Cavs. Oh, shit.
Quite the analogist.
Number 8 is Croc 2. And most people don't even remember Croc 1. How are they going to remember Croc 2? Do you remember Croc at all, Peyton?
Nope.
This is another one that was on PlayStation 1. Is a 3D platforming game where you're a crocodile. And it was actually, it's interesting, it was made by the same developers who made the original Star Fox. And they were shopping around a 3D platforming game with Yoshi to Nintendo, and then Nintendo, for whatever reason, decided not to go with the Yoshi platforming game. And they basically took the game that they had almost completed and just changed Yoshi into a crocodile and released it as Croc on PlayStation.
Huh.
He says, this game took everything that was great about the original, polished it, added innovation, and a large open-ended adventure. This is one of the greatest sequels ever, in my opinion, and it's definitely worth a visit on someone's channel, wink. I'm pretty sure I've done a video on it in the past, man.
Yeah.
Number 7 is the Indigo Prophecy. That's a game that I can see not many people knowing about because it wasn't super popular. Do you know that one, the Indigo Prophecy?
Nope.
It was on PlayStation 2, and it's very hard to describe, but do you know Heavy Rain?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it's like Heavy Rain before Heavy Rain was around. It's an adventure game. Let's see what he says. This game does everything that Heavy Rain did, but did it like 12 years ago. Quantum Dream also developed this beauty, and in more ways than one, this is like a pseudo-prequel to Heavy Rain. Emotionally deep and extremely thought-provoking, is one of the best stories to be had on the PlayStation, and is a highly recommended play for that alone. And the most memorable thing that I can remember is that there's a chick who fucks a zombie in it, so...
Ugh.
Yeah. Number 6 is a game that I've never heard of. It's called Ribbit King. Do you know anything about Ribbit King?
Sounds like a Frogger ripoff.
It does. Let's see what he says. Let's play Froth. Yes, Frog Golf. I cannot ascertain just how maddeningly fun this game is, especially drunk off your ass with a couple of buddies. This game can ruin friendships.
Sounds like Mario Party.
Frog Golf? That's not coming together in my head as a thing. I'm going to have to Google it and find out what the hell Ribbit King is.
Well, then again, we also have Frog Baseball, but Beavis and Butthead showed us how to play that one.
Frog Baseball!
Get him!
Okay. Apparently it's on PlayStation 2. Okay, I'm looking at it. Oh, it looks exactly like Mario Golf.
That'll be a perfect shot.
Damn.
Oh, that was close.
That was very...
Oh, I get it. You know what it's like, Peyton?
What?
You know that game they have at county fairs where they put the little plastic frog on the little seesaw thing and you hit it with a hammer and you try to get on the lily pad?
Yeah.
Like they turned that into a golf game.
Oh.
It's actually kind of a cool idea.
I'll have to check it out sometime then.
Number 5 is Onimusha. I remember Onimusha. Do you?
I've never heard of it.
It was on PlayStation 2, or maybe Dreamcast. I forget where it started. It was basically like Resident Evil with samurai.
Huh.
It was another Capcom thing. Everything that was great about the original Resident Evil games and amplified with a soul-sucking samurai with elemental powers he gets from sucking said souls. It's awesome. Say that 10 times fast.
I'm not going to try it. I'll goof up on the second one.
Sucking said souls. Number 4, Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX. I remember this shit.
Yeah, that was a good game.
They made 2 of them, and they were going to make a 3rd one, but Dave Mirra pulled his name off of it because they were trying to make it an adult game, and it wound up being released as BMX Triple X. Let's see what he says. Due to the unfortunately recent passing of this BMX legend, I did not know that Dave Mirra was dead. Okay. I picked this game back up, and I have to say it is criminally underrated. Had this game had the backing of a decent studio, it would have been just as popular as the Tony Hawk series was. Well, what Will doesn't realize is that for a while it was that popular. It's just when he pulled his name off of it and they tried to go on with the BMX Triple X thing, everything kind of fell apart.
Especially considering BMX Triple X was supposed to be like some kind of hardcore porno game, and it didn't turn out to be.
It did have like footage of strippers and all kinds of weird shit. It wasn't even a good game. It's the kind of thing that you'd be embarrassed to buy. Can you imagine going into GameStop and asking for it? They're going to be like, really?
Yeah.
You don't have the internet? Really? Number 3 is Twisted Metal Small Brawl. I've never heard of this one. I mean, I've heard of Twisted Metal, but not Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Alright, let's see. He says, I want to make this clear. This game did receive horrible ratings and was a horrible betrayal of a valued series. Conversely, if you were a child, like my good friend B, growing up with strict parents who only let him play games rated for him, this kid at 12 couldn't even play Tekken, this game was as good as it got. Take the cast of psychopathic killers, make them young and in school together, and the battles are RC cars on the playground. It was actually kind of genius to introduce the series to a younger audience. That sounds terrible.
It really does.
Number 2 is Looney Tunes Sheep Raider. I've actually played this for video on my channel. Do you know about this one, Peyton?
Yeah, isn't it based off of some guy who looks like Wile E. Coyote and a sheepdog?
Yeah, Ralph Wolf, who looks so much like Wile E. Coyote that they're pretty much identical. And it's like a stealth game where you have to sneak the sheep away. It's got interesting music, it's got good graphics. It was on PlayStation 1. The first fun stealth game, and I mean fun as in lighthearted enjoyment rather than pulse-pounding end of the world and it's all up to you. It had awesome cel-shaded graphics and really did what it intended to do. They could remaster this and have a hit. I agree. That's something they should bring back.
Yeah, it was fun when I played it.
And number 1 is Crash Team Racing. I don't think anybody forgot that.
What is it?
It's the Crash Bandicoot Mario Kart ripoff.
Oh, yeah.
That was like, if you had PlayStation and not Nintendo 64 and you really wanted to play a Mario Kart game, that was the go-to Mario Kart ripoff game. Because there were a lot of them, but that was the good one. He says, the final chapter of Naughty Dog's involvement with the Crash series, and it shows. This was PlayStation's answer to Mario Kart, and in some ways was superior, in my humble opinion anyways. With the upcoming remaster of the original trilogy, now would be a perfect time, let alone the possibility of online play. Please make this happen, Sony. I'm begging you. Alright, well, out of 10, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't forget most of these existed. I either remembered them or never heard of them. But I get what he was going for. I'm going to give it an 8. What do you say, Peyton?
I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
Like I said, most of them I've never even heard of before.
Yeah, you either never heard of it or you knew it. There was none that you're like, oh, yeah, that game. I forgot about that shit. So there we have it. Let's see. Okay. I have some more lists. I'm just trying to bring them up, and my browser's being stupid.
That sounds normal.
Oh, I got a good one here. Oh, Peyton, you're going to love this shit. This is the bomb. I read this one the other day. I was laughing my ass off. My ass came off. This is from BrainJet. 21 disgruntled citizens share how they trolled law enforcement.
Oh, I'm listening.
Trucker Peyton, have you ever trolled some cops?
I try not to because I value my CDL.
Yeah, I can understand that. But I'm sure the urge is there at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. All right, here's the first one. Back when I was in school, the university newspaper ran a story about undercover cops using a younger, cute girl to camp outside the liquor store just off campus and ask people to buy her beer. She'd give the people money, then ask them if they wanted to come back to her car and share one as a way to say thanks. Get back to where her car is supposed to be, van door opens up, cops inside, and you get a ticket for underage buying. Later that evening, my friend and I were going to this Sam E. liquor store to get some beer when we were approached by a cute girl who asked us if we could buy her a six-pack of beer since she was underage. Being a dumbass, I said sure, took her money, and we went inside. About 10 seconds later, I remembered the piece about the undercover cops and realized we were about to get arrested. At that point, we decided the best thing to do was buy a six-pack of super expensive root beer, blowing $9 of the $20 she gave us, and we put it in a paper bag. We walked back out, and she asked us, "Did you get it?" To which we said, "Yeah, of course." She invited us back to her car to have one each as a thank you. Sure enough, we head to the back, and there's the black van. The door opens up, cops sitting in there with headphones on, etc., and they tell us, "You're in a world of trouble now." I put on my best troll face and said, "Really? I really thought you guys could use some root beer sitting out here in that cramped van all night." There was an awkward pause, and then they opened the bag. Root beer, nothing else. Then they told us to get the fuck out of there, and we were interfering with a police investigation, and if we didn't leave, we'd get arrested. We walked across the street to our apartment building, went into the various laundry rooms, and yelled out the window every time she approached someone that it was a sting. They left after about 20 minutes of that. Oh, wrecked. Nice. Nice. All right. Next up. There was a speed trap where I grew up on Pennsylvania Route 74. One of the markers, since it was a Vascar trap, was a white plastic jug. I often stopped along that route when I saw the jug there, grabbed the jug, and drove off. I got stopped once doing this. The cop seemed really angry. I told him, "I see that thing there all the time, and it bothers me that nobody has bothered to pick up that trash." Oops. All right. Here's the next one. Closest thing I've ever done to trolling a cop was the following. Got pulled over for speeding. Cop asks if they can search my car, and I tell them no. They say they're bringing in the drug dogs, so I sit there and I wait for the drug dogs. Lo and behold, he signals that there is something in the car. There wasn't. So they make a beeline straight for a large wooden box sitting on the floor, halfway under the back seat. They're getting all excited because they think they're going to bust me with drugs in it. They pick it up and they see this. Oh, I got to click on a link. Let's see what it is. It's the board game Risk. Suddenly, they're not quite as smiley as they were before. They opened it, looked through the entire thing, spilled my fucking pieces everywhere. Checked the glove compartment, the center console, everything. But since I didn't have anything on me, they obviously found nothing. Wah, 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 wah.
Well, no shit.
That one's not really a troll, though. He didn't really do anything to facilitate the trolling.
Hell, if anything, it just made it sound like he just wasted his whole that time.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Around 2 a.m. on Saturday night, I was pulled over for suspicion of DWI. I hadn't had a drop. They asked me to step out of the car and gave me a sobriety test. I passed with flying colors. They asked me if they could search the vehicle. I told them they could search the vehicle with the sole exception of the center console. They would need a warrant for that. After several hours sitting roadside, they finally produced a warrant from a judge. The center console was empty. Now that is how you troll. I mean, if you got hours to spare sitting in your car to fuck with some police, go for it, I say. I mean, obviously you have no life, but still, awesome.
Either that or he was trying to get out of work and he finally had a good enough excuse.
You know, there could be something to that.
Because if they do a search on you and it takes forever, they have to write you something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They have to write you almost like a doctor's note, but from a cop.
Just about.
Yeah. All right. It was a few days before New Year's in the Bay Area's Chinatown. I was about 14 then, and me and my group of friends would always walk from school to my house just to hang out and play video games. There were about 6 of us walking up this really steep hill to where I lived. When you have lived in the same area for over 10 years, you notice things that are unusual, out of place, and just doesn't seem right. The strange thing I noticed was a guy, late 30s, with sunglasses on and a hat, sitting in a white pickup truck reading a magazine. We were inside my apartment for about 30 minutes before we decided to go get some food. I saw the truck on the other corner, and the guy spots us. He rolls down his window and yells, "Do you guys have any fireworks for sale?" I told him I couldn't hear him, but I clearly heard him. He asked again, I said, you guys have any fireworks for sale? I told him again that I couldn't hear him. All of a sudden he makes a turn, goes down the hill, and pulls up right to us. Do you guys have any fireworks for sale? I said, nope. And he goes, I know you guys do. I'm not a cop, so it's cool. I told him that it doesn't matter if he's a cop or not. We don't sell fireworks because it's illegal. He starts to get irritated and starts yelling at us at this point. Come on, guys, stop being wussies. I just want to buy some fireworks for my kids. We're actually walking down the street with him slowly driving next to us asking. I told him one last time, I know you're a cop and you're just doing your job, but honestly, we do not sell fireworks, and by the way, a cable car is coming. He goes, so what? I told him, because you're going down a narrow one-way street with a cable car coming up the hill towards you. He literally shat his pants as he sees the cable turn the corner at full speed. He reverses as fast as he could, clipping a few cars on his way up the hill. A cop on top of the hill sees this and pulls the guy over. The dude gets out of his truck and pulls out his badge to show the other cop that he was undercover. Boy, they smelled bacon. They knew what was going on there. All right.
Bacon.
I just had some bacon.
Maybe I'll make some after this. I don't know. I don't have a lot to work with. I'm trying to cut back, actually.
Yeah, I know how it is.
I'm down to 268 at least.
I just hit 230. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Friend's story. He was smoking weed in high school with his best friend, both dudes. They had to sneak away from their parents, so they smoked in one of their cars at a scenic outlook near Roanoke, Virginia. Sure enough, officers found them in the car, but luckily they had already finished and put the weed away. When the officer asked my friend what he was doing up there, the officer suspected weed. My friend said that he was in love with the other guy and they were about to make out. That's how you do it, huh?
Yeah.
Southern cop didn't know it hit him, so he just walked away. Nice. Got rid of him. Yeah, we're about to make out, officer. All right, number 5. But it's not number. I'm not saying the numbers because the numbers are all fucked up on the site. I grew up in a small town, really small. The only way to have any form of entertainment was to drive 30 minutes to the next city to go to the movies, bowling, etc. Just so happens that on the highway, halfway between the two cities, there was a small town known for being a speed trap. The highway was out of the jurisdiction of the local police, so what the marshal would do is hide in between overpasses to catch speeders, force them to pull over onto the frontage road, which was in his jurisdiction. Then he would claim an exaggerated speed. When people asked to see his radar, which is perfectly legal, he claimed that he didn't have to because it was illegal. Any claims reported to his superiors seemed to go ignored until he ran into me. Over time, my friends and I timed his patrols and realized that he patrolled towards the end of the month. One night, he stopped a friend for excessive speeding. The officer claimed 92 in a 60 zone, which was bullshit. And then we knew something had to be done. The officer had taken his plate number and claimed to have seen it speeding many different times, and we knew he would look out for it. So I decided to take my phone and rig it to record the speedometer and get pulled over by the officer. It took a few tries, but I managed to get pulled over by the same officer doing 70 and 60, that being a first-time offense. After giving him my license, he went on to claim that I was doing at least 85 and giving me the whole bit about how he cannot show me the radar, as well as giving me a ticket claiming it was a repeat offense and how I should be put in jail. All this being caught on my phone without him noticing. So a few days later, I show up to the courthouse to pay the ticket, and I managed to talk to the mayor of the town and showed him the video of all this. Thanks to me, the officer got fired, and I didn't have to pay a $400 ticket from a douchebag.
Sounds like the road between Cooper, Texas and Paris, Texas.
You know,
30 miles, speed trap midway.
You know, it could be. He didn't say where it was. It very well could be.
Yeah, there was an asshole that gave me a $400 ticket once because he said I was going 89 in a 65 zone. I'm like, fuck that shit. I was only going, like, my car could barely get 7.
Do you think this might be that guy?
I hope to God it is, in all honesty. And
So
I hope to God.
now knowing that he got fired? And I
Yeah?
want to say, this wasn't trolling. This was justice. Hold on. I'm looking into this here because it links to a Reddit thread. I want to see if anywhere in the thread.
If it says anywhere about Northeast,
yeah.
if it says it happened in Northeast Texas or just any of those, or ask me a city about, if there is a city, then yeah.
I'm looking through the thread right now because I'd really like to know. Now that you mention that, because what you're saying is very similar to what this person's saying, you know?
Yeah, the only thing is, though, it was a state trooper that pulled me over. So that's the only thing that's like maybe it wasn't, but it does sound very familiar. They set up speed traps right in the middle between Cooper and Paris, and they have like 10 state troopers just monitoring the whole area.
Well, unfortunately, nobody in the thread asks where it was, and the guy never said where it was, so that's unfortunate. I want to believe that you ran into the same cop. In my headcanon, it's the same person. Okay, moving on here. My mother drives a Jeep, which the top is often off of. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Often off of.
Off and off of, off and off of, off and off of.
Yeah, that's not easy. We pulled up in the fire lane out front of a bank because my mother is kind of an idiot, and she ran inside to use the ATM. I was 15 at the time, and while she's inside, a police officer walks up to the Jeep, sticks his head in the driver's side window, and says, "Is this your vehicle, son?" To which I replied, "Yes. Sometimes I like to park in illegal places and sit in my own passenger seat." He didn't say a word, stood back, crossed his arms, and just glared at me. My mom came out about 10 seconds later. He took a look at her and said, "Have a nice day, ma'am," and walked away.
Ha!
You know, it's good he said that. The mother might have got a ticket if the kid didn't make the cop feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. In the city I live in, you need to purchase a license to work in public spaces. A few weeks ago, I was walking through a pedestrian zone where a man was playing the violin, and I stopped by to listen. Sure enough, within a minute, 2 policemen showed up and asked him for his license. Of course, he didn't have one, so they started taking his information to give him a fine. That's when an old lady started talking to me really loudly about how that's a shame, and I answered something along the lines of, "They're right to stop him. What would become of the world if everyone just started to play music on the street? People might start dancing." This goes on for about 5 minutes, the lady and me standing about 3 feet from the police, and maybe 20 people stopped and were watching. Everyone else walking by is smirking. It was a good feeling when I heard, "You know what, we're going to let you go this time. Make sure you buy a license." Well, that's how you do it.
Well, at least he got out of it.
Well, they made the cops feel like morons, so. I'm an attorney, and a client was complaining about being followed by the cops every time he was in town. I met him at his house, and I drove his car one Saturday night. Sure enough, about 5 minutes later, a local cop started following me. I made 20-plus turns, all legal, and the cop followed me in every turn. He quit following me when I pulled into my office parking lot, but I waved as he drove by. I told the client to get a different car, and his problem stopped with bullshit traffic stops. I told the district attorney what I did, and I got a better plea offers coming for cases where cops are being dicks. That's weird. So there was something about that particular car that made them follow it all the time?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I would do if I saw a cop was following me but he hadn't pulled me over? I would just start like going around a block over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Just see like how long it takes them to just fuck off. All right. A story my troll dad likes to tell me is from when he was in dental school at USC in the 70s. The street right next to the building with the dental labs is a really long block, so a lot of people just cross in the middle of the street instead of going to a street light. There used to be a cop who would write a lot of jaywalking tickets to people who would do that. My dad and his friends would make giant water balloon launchers using surgical tubing and would launch water balloons they made from dental gloves at the cop. Once he saw where they were launching from, but he couldn't get into the building because he didn't have the proper security codes. Oh, that's great in the 70s. They try that today, and the cop will start shooting his gun at the building.
Angry man yells at cloud.
Yeah. All right. Not really a troll, but still awesome. When I was in college, I would take an empty soda can and cut the top and bottom off of it and put a slit down the side and slip in a beer can. This worked so well that my friends and I could openly drink outside on the quad, and safety had no idea. I was shocked it worked so well. One of my safety officers actually warned me that drinking too much Mountain Dew was bad for you. I thanked him for the advice, trying to contain laughter. I wasn't sure if they knew or not at this point, but I found out for sure when my buddy was busted going to a party. He had 6 beers in his backpack, but one was in a sleeve. He was in trouble for 5 of them, but when they returned the pack, it had the soda in there. It was pretty gratifying to have them give back a full beer. Oh, this one's just soda. Yeah. There's a bike path where I live that has a posted 15-mile-per-hour speed limit for cyclists. One time a slightly overweight policeman actually sat on the trail with a radar gun and caught me going well over the limit. I managed to maneuver past him on the trail, and he immediately mounted his mountain bike and began chasing me. Because I was riding a road bike and was in much better shape than him, there was no chance of him catching me. I actually toyed with him a little, letting him catch up a little every now and then. Oh, that had to feel good. Alright. Got arrested after walking out of a bar when I was 18 with a six-pack. Cop said the only way I wouldn't be charged was if I walked back into the bar in a couple of weeks with a recording device and buy another six-pack, probably putting the bar out of business. I agreed. Walked into the bar, asked for a six-pack, and when the bartender looked me in the eyes, I just shook my head at him and mouthed, "No." He ID'd me and told me to get the fuck out. Cops get nothing. I didn't get charged. There you go. Yeah. They didn't say he had to successfully buy it, right?
Right.
All right. On 420 this year, the cops were out all over campus. I was going to a friend's house to get royally fucked up, and two cops pulled out in front of me, causing me to almost hit them. They proceeded to race each other down the road for a while. They both go to get into a turning lane at the same time, and one cop hits the other. They stopped after putting on their lights and got out to check the damage. I pulled up next to them, rolled down my window, and asked, "Are you guys okay?" After they said that they were fine, I put on my best troll face and continued, "Do you need me to call the cops?" He sped off as soon as the light turned green. They just glared at me until I was out of their view. "Do you need me to call the cops?"
Oh, man.
That's fucking classic. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, this next one. Racing to get my girlfriend at the time home before curfew. I'm hauling ass down this windy mountain road. Make a turn, see a cop in a turnout, said, "Well, shit," and floored it. I know it will take him a few turns to catch me, so about a quarter mile up the road, I pull down a little-known side street in the middle of a curve, kill the engine and the lights, and pray. After about 5 seconds later, here comes the cop, lights and siren blaring, and thankfully he shoots right past the road I was on. I found another route to get the girlfriend home. Cool.
That's how you do it. Blend in. And that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, actually. I had to do that.
Oh, shit. And you're in a gigantic fucking truck, though. How do you blend in?
No, I was in my personal vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't waiting in traffic, so I jumped over the median, and then I saw a cop's lights start blaring, and then he starts coming over, and I turned right. And luckily, I pulled into some guy's garage, and they must have not been home. And this was in a bad neighborhood, too. So,
oh, boy.
You know, but they had left his garage door open, so I slipped in there. And cop drove right past me, speeding. And I backed down, just laughed my way all the way home.
I think that's great, but I'm so glad that the garage didn't belong to, like, the Unabomber or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? All right. Next one. I refuted a police noise complaint with a decibel meter and a printout of the Boston Municipal Code on Noise Ordinance.
Very nice.
Sorry, I had to do it. All right. College Town, huge party. Excise cops are in town busting parties left and right. Ours gets busted. They proceed handing out tickets to underage drinkers. One kid gets a scrap piece of paper and folds it into the shape of the tickets the cops are handing out and sits on the front steps with his head in his hands repeating, "My parents are going to fucking kill me." Cops just pass him right by. Now, there you go. Oh, look, he's already got a ticket. That works. It's thinking on your feet, right?
Yeah.
All right. This was about 10 years ago. My mother had a large plant in a plastic pot that died. I took the pot full of dirt and put it in the trunk of my car to replant something at my house. I forgot about it for a few weeks. I got pulled over for something. The cops asked, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I said, "Was it speeding or was it because of the pot in my trunk?"
Oh, jeez.
Oh, he got me out of the car and had me put my palms on the hood while I was searched. He opened the trunk and was not happy. I got chewed out for wasting his time and such and such. I noticed that not one single car passed, so it wasn't wasting too much of his time. That's good, though. I like it.
Yeah.
He did technically have pot in his truck, so, you know. All right. Remember in middle school, we liked to fuck with our dean nonstop. We used to follow him around calling ourselves the P Squad. His last name started with P. One day we decided to start a fight. Got all the kids in the situation at lunch, and soon had a massive group of people chanting, "Fight, fight, fight," in the middle of the quad. Mr. P comes sprinting in with full pissed-off panic face on, only to find me and my friend in a heated thumb war. No. It's not a cop, but it's the same basic idea, and I do like it. I do like it. I was speeding once, and I mean seriously speeding. I saw the lights come up behind me and freaked. I pulled over and noticed I had a bottle of water next to me, took it out and poured it all over my lap, and then put on the most embarrassed look I could. He asked if he knew why he pulled me over, and I responded, "I'm sorry, officer, I really had to pee, and I was trying to get to the nearest restroom, but I peed myself." Something in me knew that this cop did not want me to touch his pen, his paper, didn't want to touch my license, nothing. As far as he was concerned, I was just disgusting. He said, "Well, next time use the bathroom before you leave and slow it down," and he let me go. There you go. And if you can't do that, you could try actually pissing yourself.
Yeah.
That was the last one. I'm disappointed because those are amazing. All right, out of 21, what do you say, Peyton?
I'll give it 17.
18, I'm going to go 18 on that one. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Lot of fun.
Okay, here's one from Knowable. And this is prying parents share the worst things they discovered about their child.
Uh-oh.
Now, I haven't read this one, so, I don't know what we're in here for. But I know you don't have kids, but if you had kids, what would be the worst thing that you would want to, not want to discover about them? Or, if you were looking through their room or whatever, and what is the last thing you want to find?
League of Legends Riot Point cards.
Well, that just means your kid is a nerdlinger. I was thinking, if you found, dead animals or something, that would be really creepy.
I would actually prefer dead animals over Riot Point cards.
Shit. Damn.
At least if they're dead animals, it's like, dude, this is not how you kill animals. I'll show you how to kill animals.
All right.
Take them on a hunting trip. Let them go hunt deer or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, that they could be a psychopath is what I'm saying. I used to work for Nokia and Samsung doing mobile phone repairs, and some of the stuff I've seen has blown my mind. One of my favorites was when a dad brought in his daughter's Nokia Windows phone, and while holding it, a text preview came up from a young man saying, "God, I can't wait to see your big boobs." The father's reaction was priceless. He just gritted his teeth, let us do what we had to do, and left. I can only imagine the bollocking she got when he got home. So to all the young ladies or young gentlemen out there, if you're giving your parents your phone to get it repaired, put it in airplane mode so you don't have that shit doesn't happen, all right?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, my dad locked me out of most of the internet with parental controls. I got mad at him and installed a keylogger onto our computer so I could steal his password and go into account settings and change my privileges. I got his password along with a bunch of love letters he was writing to a woman he was cheating on my mom with.
Uh-oh.
Wow, that's more like the prying kid finding something about the parent there. Holy shit.
Oh, Dad.
That's easy blackmail right there. That's whatever you want, whenever you want it, right?
Yeah.
As a prying child looking for confiscated video games, I discovered my mom hides my Game Boy way better than she hides her strap-on.
Ew.
Oh, that is not something you ever want to find. Oh, man. That's fucking terrible.
Dad, are you pegging Mom? Or is Mom pegging you?
Or maybe Mom's a big old lesbian.
Maybe.
All right, number 4. That my then 14-year-old stepdaughter had a thing for anime porn. I mean, hey, do your Naruto and Pikachu thing, but dang, you're the daughter of 2 IT parents. Delete your browser history.
Naruto and Pikachu. What the fuck kind of hentai are they watching?
Isn't that all of it right there? Isn't it all just fictional characters fucking each other?
At least do lover-in-law or something.
Number 5. My 5-year-old daughter was riding in the back seat, auto-babbling away. Eventually she says, "Daddy, I don't think you know this, but when I was young, I used to pick up little bits of things off the floor and put them in my mouth." "Really? What kind of things, sweetie?" "Pieces of paper, fuzzies, things like that." A thoughtful look crossed her face like she was trying to make a really difficult decision that would determine her fate. Finally, she settled on honesty and said, and I definitely ate a flower once. That's just adorable, to be honest.
Works for me.
Number 6. We adopted one of our kids, and he is biracial, while the rest of the family is white. Back when he was in 2nd grade, I found a writing assignment that the kids had to do. They essentially had to write 3 things they would wish for if they had a genie. One of the things he wrote was, "I wish I was white." Oh, that's sad.
That is sad.
That's sad. That really hit me hard. I thought we had done enough to incorporate his racial and cultural background. It wasn't something we just ignored. It hurt to see that he didn't really want to be who he was and that we had something to do with that. I hated that he felt that way and I hated that I found it. In hindsight, however, I'm glad I found it. It opened up the dialogue even more, and our son revealed that he wanted to move somewhere where he wasn't one of the only black kids. We did end up moving to a much more diverse area a few years later, and I love it here. My son is now in middle school and is pretty comfortable talking about racial identity. As much as it hurt finding the paper, I think it was beneficial to get it out in the open. So that did wind up having a good ending there.
Yeah.
But that could be heartbreaking to see that, though. I can only imagine how that felt. Number 7, my kids aren't quite old enough to ruin my view of their innocence yet, but when I was a kid, my grandma found my rather hefty porn stash under the bathroom counter one day while cleaning.
Uh-oh.
Got really embarrassed about it until I realized that she just straightened them out into a neat stack and never said a word about it to me to this day. Hell of an old lady.
Sounds like a cool grandma.
She sounds awesome. She just tidied them up. That's amazing.
Hope she was using rubber gloves.
Yeah, I hope so too. Oh, number 8, wasn't my child, but I used to work in a phone shop, and I was transferring this kid's photos to his new phone. It was the first off that model I sold, and little did I know it had a pre-installed app that showed a gallery on the second homepage after you swiped right. I was explaining how to use it, and the default image the gallery function decided to select was a fully frontal nude photo of this poor kid's junk.
That sucks.
That sucks for everybody that's involved in that. Nobody that happened to had a good time there. Wow. All right, number 9, not a parent, but when I was about 15 and in the process of fapping, my mom came into my room without knocking. I was so shocked and at a loss for words. All I can say in reaction was, "I'm just checking if it works." Not sure how that could have changed the situation in any way. Needless to say, she always knocked before coming into my room after that little incident.
Yeah, serves her right.
Just checking to see if it works. I mean, honestly, like, if your kid's 15, you know they're doing that.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to ever walk into the room without knocking because you do not want to see that. Nobody wants to see their kid jerking it.
Especially in our day and age where it's so easy to get internet porn.
Absolutely. So yeah, they're not only jerking it, they're jerking it probably a lot more than we did when we were kids. We had to use our imagination.
Hell, I still use my imagination.
Yeah. But sometimes when you want to, fast track it, YouPorn, PornTube, all that good shit. Number 10, my friend's dad walks into him watching porn, and he accidentally clicked a gay porn advertisement. His dad awkwardly closed the door and will forever think that his son is secretly gay.
Oh, that sucks.
Ad block, my friend, ad block. That's what you need.
The worst part that happened to me, and this is when I was a kid, okay, my sister used to download porn all the damn time. And I would sneak on her computer and watch him fap it like a regular 13-year-old kid would do.
Of course.
Well, she got wise to it and was getting pissed off that I was doing it because, well, who wouldn't? I'm leaving a mess all over the place.
Yeah.
So she decides to rename some alternative porn and me being a naive kid, I just click on it.
And
I didn't even know a dog could do that.
Oh, dog. Oh, that's.
Oh, she was ready for that, and I stayed off it ever since.
No, that ain't cool. I mean, it would have been funny if it was just like gay porn or something. That's just funny, but when you involve animals in it, that ain't right, man.
Well,
I had a girlfriend when I was around 19 that sent me a video of a dog fucking a chick, and I'm like, the hell is wrong with you? This chick's getting fucked by a Dalmatian. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm not going to say her name. And she's like, I think it's funny. And I'm like, well, it kind of is, but still, that's fucked up. Like, why would you send me that? Where are you getting this? What websites are you looking at?
I don't know, but she got me good. And, oh, God.
Oh, wow. I mean, I thought it was going to wind up being like meat spin or something, but when you... Oh, animals, that ain't right. All right, number 11. I was once really hungry, so I ate a banana in the shower, and I threw the banana peel on the shower floor. Dad found it later and asked me, quite angrily, what debauchery I was up to with a banana in the shower. He probably thought I was shoving it up my butt. Well, I mean, to be honest, wouldn't that be what you would think in that situation? Like, who eats in the shower?
I don't know.
What are you, Kramer? That ain't right. All right, number 12. My mother accidentally found my brother's dope plants in a house he and I shared when she popped around for a visit while we were out. Her line was that she went to put something away, and lo and behold, it just happened to be in the cupboard that my brother stashed his plants in. When I said it couldn't have been an accident, as I placed a small piece of tape on all the cupboard doors in the house and every single one had been opened, she flew into a rage, carping on about how she couldn't trust my brother, and that's why she had to check every cupboard. But more to the point, that my trick with the cupboards was low and despicable act, and I should be ashamed of myself. So when I then explained that I had lied and I hadn't put tape anywhere, but I appreciated her new honesty regarding snooping through the flat, things strangely didn't get any better after that.
Well, no shit, ain't gonna get no better
What
than
do you
that.
expect? Oh. What do you think? She's just going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't, come on. Number 13, I actually found this out from a neighbor who frequented Omegle. You know what Omegle is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And apparently stumbled onto my daughter and her friend putting on a show. Oh. Skin and all, I had no idea what to do. What do you do?
Oh.
I mean, obviously you got to put a stop to that, but how do you approach your daughter and be like, hey, I know what you're doing on the internet because the next door neighbor just saw your tits.
Oh, my.
It ain't leading to anything good. My heart goes out to that father there.
Yeah, me too.
Number 14, not really the prying type, but grabbed my 9-year-old daughter's tablet to show her how to get to her Gmail inbox using her web browser. Her email client was misbehaving. There were like 7 open tabs of porn. Whoa, she's 9!
What?
7 open tabs of porn. She's 9 years old. Holy shit. Alright. There were like 7 open tabs of porn, and her web search history had boys peeing search. Shocked me and the wife. She's 9. That's when we decided it was time for a bit of anatomical and reproduction info, which of course fell to me. My wife was thoroughly incapable. I'm horrified.
Yeah.
I'm well horrified right now. 9 years old, and she's a porn fiend.
Sounds like me. I've gotten into my dad's porn stash when I was 4.
Yeah, but that couldn't have done anything for you when you were 4.
No, but I used to stare at it wondering what the hell are these people doing?
Yeah, but she's actively searching for porn on the internet, including piss porn.
Yeah, good point.
That's way more fucked up. Number 15. Oh, this is just as bad. This is the same thing. Golden shower vids on Pornhub in my 12-year-old's browser history. That is just fucked up. I don't know why people... I ain't trying to kink shame, but I just don't understand people pissing and shitting on each other.
I know, right?
I ain't into it. If you're into it, that's fine, but I ain't into it. But 12-year-olds shouldn't be seeing that. I'm just saying. I mean, what kind of fucked up view of sex is this kid going to have?
A lot.
Yeah.
This...
Number 16, not a prying parent, but a prying kid. My father had a porno in the DVR and thought I was too young to know how to work it. Surprise, surprise. I found it and had a major moment when I found out what a vagina looked like. I always thought the women had penises too and gave birth through their butts. Shocking, to say the least. My younger brother found it later on and had a panic attack so bad that he fainted.
My stepbrother used to say that.
That women gave birth out the butt?
No, he said he's going to give birth out the butt one day.
Oh, well, you know, if you have enough Chinese food.
P.F. Chang's will do it.
Yeah, exactly. Number 17, I was trying to take a picture on my nephew's phone and discovered he had a taste for intense hentai.
Okay, cool.
I wonder what exactly makes it intense.
It's either going to involve tentacles,
Yeah.
incest, or pixelated dicks.
That's all of it, though, ain't it?
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I ain't into much of the cartoon porn, but I have seen it, and to me, there never seems to be any romance to it. It's just the women's tits are impossibly huge. Everybody's squirting. There's tentacles everywhere. They fly sometimes. I don't understand what that's all about.
I don't know. I'm just...
I saw this one thing where a woman's vagina exploded. I mean, like a burst of light came out of her pussy.
Sounds like something that came out of Bible Black then.
I don't know what it was. I don't really want to know what it was.
Yeah.
It was just weird. It was like the panties come down. It was like, you know, what the fuck? Like it was a superpower or something.
Oh, and there's one other factor to hentai too. Jailbait. Watch out.
Well, they're just drawings, so I just don't get like where do you draw the line? What would it be if it's not intense then? You know, what would normal hentai be?
I don't know, just two people fucking.
Yeah. I'd be okay if it was that. Number 18, I'm not a prying parent, but I'm a prying child. I discovered the kind of porn my mom is into by seeing what windows she had open in her phone's browser. She now knows what incognito mode is. Oh, man. Incognito mode is good if you're looking at porn on your phone. Even if nobody else ever looks at your phone, it is a good way to prevent the phone from downloading any kind of nasty malware or anything.
Yeah.
Number 19, while I never pried, I was placing clean laundry into my son's dresser drawers when I spied several hot lesbo porn magazines. Problem was, they were mine, and I wasn't yet out of the closet, and I was still married to his dad. Yeah. Oops. He stole his mom's porn. Number 20, my mom went into my MSN chat logs when I went to go live with my dad. I was not a savvy rebel, forgot to check don't save, and found all of my cybering. I was like 14. She said it was way worse than the I hate my parents type of stuff.
How's that possible?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like, if I was reading through, like, if I had a son, I was reading through their I wouldn't be doing that, first off. But if I was, I'd much rather see that they were getting little, you know, a little sexting action than them saying, I hate my dad.
Yeah, same here.
Number 21, my very conservative mother opened my follow-up letter from the abortion clinic. Ooh. Rather than ask me about it, she showed my boyfriend in private in an attempt to break us up. Oh, what a bitch.
Very.
She also committed a federal crime. You can't open somebody else's mail.
Nope.
Number 22, I found out that they don't know how to use private browsing on the iPhone. All history saved. This disappointed me more than the actual history. It's at least, yeah, that's right. It's at least cover your tracks, right?
Yeah.
Number 23, used to torrent porn because that's all I knew how to do. One day I open my torrent client and see it's already downloading several kinky vids. I assume it's just the client being spammy and gross, so I delete the files and proceed on to my vanilla multi-gig downloads. The next day my dad sits me down and says I should watch out for the upstairs computer but because it's been acting up or something. Says he is aware it has downloaded some gross stuff, but he immediately says he knows it wasn't me. His confidence that it wasn't me surprises me, and that's when I realize it was his. I guess he saw that somebody deleted the files and panicked, thinking that I was judging him, So he had to come up with a story about how the computer does that stuff on its own, so I would know it wasn't him. If he hadn't said anything, that's what I would have assumed. He damned himself there, huh? All right, number 24. Well, this is from my perspective, not my parents', but I know it still was probably awkward. I have a habit of being too tired. I fall asleep while enjoying some porn. Mom came in to wake me up, found me butt naked, face down with porn playing on my phone. Well, there you go. Got to make sure that you clean up afterwards. You can't just, you know. Number 25, my mom did find a letter I wrote to my boyfriend before the days of internet and texting where I described how I was going to give him a blowjob. Couldn't look her in the eye for weeks, even tried to pass it off as English homework. Whoa! I was 14 at the time. 2 decades later, I still cringe when I remember it. That'd be one hell of an English assignment, eh, Peyton? Peyton, you there? Did I lose him?
Oh, I'm here. Shit.
What happened there?
Oh, I hit the mute button on my damn Yeti on accident.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, blowjob.
Yeah, I was sitting here laughing the whole time like, oh, wow, really?
Imagine saying it's an English... Now, imagine it would have been so bad if they believed it was an English assignment.
That would have been worse. It'd be like, what the hell are they teaching you in English?
Like,
And then
what
the next
the
thing you
hell
know,
kind of pervert did they got teaching English class?
either that or they're reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, this was before the internet, so it was way before 50 Shades of Grey.
Thank the fuck Christ.
I can't believe... I just saw that they made a second movie out of that. Like, didn't the first one bomb?
Yep. Do they care? No.
Oh. Number 26. When I was probably 16, I took a picture of my hard-on to send to a chick I met online with my mom's computer. I thought I was so smart by putting it in a folder inside of a folder with several empty folders.
Hell, that'd make me suspicious if you ask me.
Yeah, that's like a red flag. Like, if you just put it in the document folder, like, nobody would have noticed it because there's probably so much shit in there. Oops. Number 27, my brother was trying to print out some porn pictures once, and the printer wasn't working. Oh, I know where this is going. When my dad turned the computer on the next day, the picture immediately printed. Yep, they forgot to delete the job. That's rookie mistake right there. Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Number 28, this is about parents. One time in high school, I came home on a night where I said I would be staying at a friend's. Walked into the living room to see a porno on the 50-inch TV screen. But they weren't even watching. They were just chilling and playing cards on the coffee table while a girl blew some guy in the background. I made ridiculous amounts of noise when I come in nowadays. Sounds like they were at least having a fun little party there, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, a porno, playing cards, probably got a few beers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, well, that was the last one. Out of 28, I'm going to say 25. I was enthused by that.
I'll say 27.
There you go. It was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
Now, I have a sort of a Twitter thing here. I haven't looked at this yet, but it was somebody gave... I'm sorry that I forgot who actually gave me this link. It's from 22words.com. It's 35 times men perfectly summed up parenting in a tweet. So
Oh, this should be fun.
Interesting. Summing up parenting in 140 characters or less. Number 1, from Abe Yasby at CheesyBoy22. I wear a clown mask to sleep, just in case one of my kids has a nightmare and comes to sleep in our bed. Oh my. I know this guy, Exploding Unicorn at X Exploding Unicorn. I actually follow him on Twitter. Finally gets the car seat installed correctly. Me. Where's the baby? Wife. In college.
A little late to the party there, eh?
Yeah. He's very funny. All of his tweets are about raising his hellions that are his daughters. Zach at Mr. Kaparsky says, kids party. Me. Can we leave? These things take forever. Wife. Shut your mouth. Watch our daughter open her presents. Oh, number 4, Danny Zucker at Danny Zucker. I'm constantly amazed at how different my twin daughters are. Lisa is so much more positive and confident than her sister Hogface. I've actually seen that one before. Dog face.
All new to me.
The Glad Stork at the Glad Stork says, I cut the crust off my daughter's PB&J, and I swear to God I heard her whisper that I'm her bitch now. Well, you are.
Technically.
I mean, look, when I was a kid, I didn't like crust on the sandwiches either, but my parents weren't cutting it off for me. They'd say, just cut it off yourself. So, if you're sitting there cutting the crust off your kids' sandwiches, you are your kid's bitch.
Pretty much.
This one's from Ryan Reynolds. The actual Ryan Reynolds. It's got the blue check mark next to it.
Wow.
He does post about his daughter a lot. Let's see. I'd walk through fire for my daughter. Well, not fire because it's dangerous, but a super humid room. But not too humid because my hair. If you ever read Ryan Reynolds' Twitter, you know why he played Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Because he is Deadpool, pretty much. He's got his...
He pretty much is. He's got everything to it.
He's got his red masturbating boots or whatever it is.
Big rubber masturbating shoes.
Big rubber masturbating boots. That's what it is. Simon Holland at Simon Challen says, it's weird how we tell kids not to lie, then tell them how good the picture they drew is. Yeah, pretty much. Goats at Hazelmotes 1 says, son, I'll make sure you have the finest education that box tops can buy. Okay, that was pretty good. It made Peyton lose his breath. Brian Gar says, the best thing about trying to name a baby is realizing how many people you hate.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it a lot. Number 10, this is from Cinco de Meh at the Alex Neville. Parents, don't give your child the answers to his homework. He needs to learn on his own that you don't know what you're talking about. It's true. Kent Graham at Kent W. Graham says, if it ain't broke, my children haven't touched it yet. There you go. Get out of here. I don't want to solve a riddle just to read this. Get out of here. Sven Amish at Amish School says, wife said I should talk to the kids about drugs, so I told them how faking a back injury would usually score you some Vicodin.
Usually.
Yeah, it depends on the doctor, I guess. Rodney LaCroix at Moog35 says, I'm coaching my son's soccer team because it's important to know that I'll swear at other kids, too. I like it a lot. The Cisco Kid at the Cisco Kidder says, I knew it was time to vacuum and the baby rolled over and looked like an everything bagel.
Oh, God.
I like it. Will Rogers at William Rogers says, 3-year-old. What's neglect mean? Me. Shh, Daddy's playing video games.
I wonder if that's the same one I knew when I was growing up, because that sounds like something he would do.
Ooh.
If he's out of jail, that is.
Oh, shit. Here's another one from Exploding Unicorn. Kid gets bitten. Me as a new parent. You poor thing. Hugs will make it better. Me now. Did you deserve it? So, the cat scratched me. What did you do to the cat? Mark at the...
Scruff?
Yeah. Mark at the Cat Whisperer says, after becoming a parent, you gradually show up later and later to things that you never see anyone ever again. Huh?
Huh?
I think I read that wrong. Let me try that again. After becoming a parent, you gradually show up later and later to things until you never see anyone ever again. Now, it still don't make sense.
I think I get it.
I get it. It's just poorly worded. They need to have a little more than 140 characters. I think Twitter should expand it to 160 characters because that's the limit on a text message.
They should just get rid of the limit altogether.
Well, then it wouldn't be Twitter. It'd be Facebook.
Okay, cool.
Zach at Mr. Kapowski says, 7-year-old daughter, why don't they have tape for your burrito, but you could eat the tape? And now I know what Einstein's parents felt like.
Haha.
Calvin at Calvin McLeod says, shout out to my kids, because shouting is the only way they hear me.
Stop ignoring me and I won't shout.
Yeah. Dad and Buried at Dad and Buried says, I'm at my parenting best when I randomly yell out, be careful, every few minutes without looking up from my phone. That'd be hilarious if you're yelling, be careful, and they're just like literally sitting there watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Abe Yaspi at CheesyBoy22 says, a cute thing I tell my kids when we see a dead deer on the side of the road is, looks like Santa lost his temper again. Terrible. I love it, but it's terrible. Holy shit. Ho ho no. Justin Guarini at Justin Guarini says, hang on guys, I think my toddler is getting to the good part of his 4-hour-long story and I don't want to miss it. Oh my god. I mean, I was at my sister's place last week hanging out with the nephews. They were painting, my sister and her boyfriend were painting the boys' room, so I sat with the boys and, watched them, kept them occupied. I was mostly playing Pokemon with Bobby. He just turned 6, and everything is, I have to tell you something. Can I tell you something? And then it's always like this long thing. And it got to the point where I just kept saying, don't ask if you can tell me something, just tell me. But that doesn't work. He's still, can I tell you something?
It's probably going to take a while to break a habit like that.
Yeah, probably. Lion Jenkins at Lion Jenkins says, Daddy? Yeah, bud. Can you scour the house looking everywhere for something I'm poorly describing that you're never seen or heard of before? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Josh at I Wear a Onesie says, watching the kids play hide and seek in the park and mine just hid behind a chain link fence. At least we don't have to save for college.
Wow.
Holy crapola. When I play hide and seek with my nephews, you know how I find them?
How?
I just say something that I know is going to make them laugh, and I just follow the noise. It's too easy.
Jeez.
Number 25. Son, my best advice is to find a girl with an embarrassing tattoo and marry her. She knows how to make bad decisions and stick with them. The dad burn. Number 26. This one is from Conan O'Brien. So Conan O'Brien says, just taught my kids about taxes by eating 38% of their ice cream. Robert Knopp at Father with Twins says 50% of parenting is looking for things with your kids that you've already thrown away.
Ouch.
Lloyd Rang at Lloyd Rang says, son, am I adopted? Me, not yet, but we're hopeful. Oh, I like it. Number 29, Goats again at Hazel Moats 1 says, I constantly Google how to put your kids up for adoption so my kids can find it on my search history and know that I'm not messing around.
Jeez.
That's something my parents would do. Not that they would do that to me, but that's like the level of conniving that they would do, Number 30, I hope by the time this is Simon Holland at Simon Holland says, I hope by the time my 5-year-old turns 8, she finishes this story. Can I tell you something? Kent Graham at Kent W. Graham says, I finally got some time. I'll try this again. I finally got some me time away from the kids. 2 whole hours. It would have been longer, but my legs went numb crouching behind the dryer. New Eric at Eric Shadow says, my youngest is being tested for the gifted program at his elementary school, and my other son thinks his toothbrush is haunted. Toothbrush is haunted?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah, he's not going to college either, huh?
I guess not.
33, S is Mark at the Cat Whisperer. Having a kid can get expensive, but I save a lot of money by not going out or doing anything fun, ever. That's one way to do it. Number 34, Dad and Buried, again. He says, my son can now reach the light switches, so don't come over to my house unless you're really into raves or you want to have a seizure.
That's how you do it.
I remember when I was just big enough to hit the light switches, and of course I'd fuck with them. My mother used to tell me that if I kept doing that, the house would blow up, so I stopped doing it. And number 35, Exploding Unicorn again. Bedtime, me. Your mom told you to stay in bed. 3-year-old. There's a scary monster in my closet. Me. Scarier than mom. 3-year-old goes to bed.
Jeez.
There you go. I remember one time I was over at my sister's house, and Bobby, he must have been about 3 at the time, and he was playing in the kitchen. I was sitting on the couch talking to my sister. I forgot what we're yapping about. We're talking. Bobby's playing with his trucks in the kitchen, and he comes in looking all upset into the living room area. And my sister's like, "What's wrong?" And he says that there's a monster in the kitchen. And she's trying to, no, there isn't. There's a monster in there. And then she's trying to, but monsters are friendly and all this. But he's really scared, And I'm like, Kristen, you can't reason with him. This isn't how you handle it. And she's like, well, how do you handle it? I say, this is how you handle it. I go, Bobby, you want me to go in there and beat the hell out of him? He goes, yeah. So I go in the kitchen and I start like kicking the cabinets and like making fighting sounds. And he's like, you leave Bobby alone and all that, And then I come back and I'm like, he's gone, Bobby. He won't bother you anymore. I kicked his ass. And that was that. And he was happy.
No worries there.
Yeah, he was perfectly happy after that. My sister's rolling her eyes the whole time, but it worked. So
it's like, why are you complaining? It worked.
Yeah, it absolutely. I think she rolled her eyes because of how much acting I was putting into it, though. Like I was having fun with it,
I'd be having fun with it too.
Yeah, she didn't get why that's fun. This is totally a guy thing, Out of 35, personally, I'm going to say 29 on this one. What do you say, Peyton?
I'll say 29 too. That was pretty good.
Okay. Boy. Let's see here. Did I do this one already? Yeah, I did that one already. We're not going to do that again, obviously. Okay, I have here from... This is actually a list on Metacritic. And I wish that I would have found this for our end-of-year special, but better late than never. This is the... how many are there? There are 15 worst movies of 2016, as ranked by Metacritic.
Oh.
So we're going strictly by the Metascore here. Now, Metacritic is not like Rotten Tomatoes. This actually uses an average of the scores. So I guess starting with number 15 here, The Sea of Trees. What the hell is this?
I don't know. It sounds like some crappy B movie that didn't go so well.
Matthew McConaughey's in it. It got a 23 on Metacritic. So number 14 scoring a 23 as well as Yoga Hosers. There's a movie called Yoga Hosers.
Like I said, it sounds like some crappy B movie that didn't work out so well.
Kevin Smith directed this.
Oh.
And Johnny Depp is in it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow. Yoga Hosers? Like, what? Okay, number 13 is The Do-Over. That scored a 22. And all I have to say to that is Adam Sandler.
Okay.
You knew he had to be on the list, right?
Somewhere.
Every year he puts out at least one really bad movie.
That's just what he does. He gets paid for it. He don't care.
Pretty much, yeah. He doesn't give a shit. And his movies do make money. Number 12, is also scoring a 22, is Search Party. I don't know anything about this movie.
Sounds like a horror movie.
Apparently it's a bad comedy. I guess that's the first failure of a comedy, that the title sounds like a horror movie, huh?
I guess. I don't know.
Number 11 is Max Steel. That scored a 22 as well.
Huh?
That's with the action figures, ain't it?
Yeah?
Okay, well, that didn't do too well, I guess, with critics. Number 10, also scoring a 22, is God's Not Dead 2.
Well, duh, it's a religious film. What'd they expect? So of course it's going to get a lot of hate.
Well, then. Some religious films are good. I mean, back in the day, we had the 10 Commandments and Ben-Hur and all these great epic movies. These days, it's shit like this and Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas, so...
Oh, God, don't remind me of Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas.
Exactly. So, I don't think they bashed on it because it's a religious movie. It's probably because it's a religious movie starring Melissa Joan Hart. That's not exactly a lot of these got 22s. Number 9 is Shut-In, which also scored a 22. I guess this one actually is a horror movie. Never heard of it, though. Have you know anything about this one? Hayden? Did you hit mute again?
Yes, I did.
Figured. Okay. Have you seen any of these movies so far? Because I haven't.
I've seen God's Not Dead too, and it wasn't as bad as it seemed, but I knew it was going to get a lot of hate because it's religious. So,
Okay.
because that's like the thing to do these days.
Now, let me ask you a question though. Is it like you saw the first God's Not Dead and you're like, I gotta see part 2, or were you just like, this is playing, I'll see this?
No, it's because they were showing it at church.
Well, that's a reason that I hadn't anticipated. That makes sense.
The one I go to, they have like a mass showing for like, all the like for kids and all that. And I try volunteering for it just so I can get out of the house and
that's good.
do some good things.
That's good. Now, like I said, and not all religious movies get. I mean, remember The Passion? That did really well.
I could only watch that movie once. I haven't been able to stomach it since.
I only watched it once because I'll be honest, Peyton, I didn't like it, but I did understand why so many people did like it.
I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong, but it was like, holy fuck! Like it made me think twice. Not because of like maybe I should be a better person. More like, why do I find this stuff so horrifically funny?
Yikes! Yeah, I didn't think there was anything funny in that movie. Holy shit!
No, that's what I mean. That's like because I watch horror movies and action films, and when they're getting their heads blown off or something like that, I'm sitting there having the time of my life.
Yeah, but that's different.
Then you see this, and it's like, what?
No, there's a big difference between watching a trashy horror movie and just watching a guy get whipped for 2 hours.
Just about.
Number 8 on the list, scoring a 21, is Norm of the North. This is that CGI polar bear movie with Rob Schneider.
Oh.
Nothing I just said could describe a good movie.
Nothing ever can.
Okay. Number 7 on the list, scoring a 19, is Martyrs, which is kind of one of those sort of Hostel or Saw type of horror movies.
Right.
Number 6 on the list, scoring an 18, is Dirty Grandpa. I believe. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised that this movie that's called Dirty Grandpa is this bad, or that it exists. I'm surprised that there's a movie this bad that the star was Robert De Niro.
Oh.
Like, how low has he sunk at this point?
I don't know. He's getting into that desperate era where he's still trying to stay relevant, and it's just backfiring horribly.
He doesn't need to. He could just sit on his ass counting his money for the rest of his life.
Pretty much. He don't need anything else.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do like Jack Nicholson and go in the background. Be a director. Do something.
Or be like Jack Nicholson and just go to basketball games every day.
Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's made enough money for the last 40 years. He's like, dude, I don't have to do any more films.
Exactly, yeah. Number 18, number 8. It's number 5. It scored an 18. It's Mother's Day. I don't know.
We didn't see that coming.
Don't know anything about this one, to be honest. Number 4 on the list, at 14, is Cabin Fever. Now, didn't Cabin Fever come out only like 15 years ago?
Yeah.
And they've already remade it?
Yeah.
Because everybody just so wanted a remake of fucking Cabin Fever.
And like I said, Hollywood's run out of ideas.
I mean, Cabin Fever wasn't even that amazing. I'm trying to bring up its Metascore. It had a 56 on Metacritic. This one has a 14.
That's bad right there.
Okay, number 3 on the list, scoring an 11, is 9 Lives. And this is another one. I can totally understand why there's a bad talking cat movie, because it seems there's always a bad talking cat movie. What I can't understand is that the star is Kevin Spacey.
Like I said, desperate.
He's the highest paid actor in television right now. Why does he want to or need to star in an animated, not animated, but CGI cat movie? Like, to me, somebody's got something really bad on him.
I don't know.
Somebody's got his kids locked up in a basement somewhere, some sort of Taken type of scenario. It's like, you will do these terrible movies.
I don't know where you are, but I will find you, and I will pay you.
Exactly. Number 2, scoring an amazing score of 7 is That a Gun in Your Pocket?
That sounds like some softcore porn film.
Yeah, it's a comedy though.
Comedic porn, like Porn Stars from Mars?
No, just a bad comedy with a stupid name.
Okay.
And the number 1 worst movie of 2016 with a amazingly high score of 2. That's out of 100, by the way. 2 is Hillary's America: The Secret History of the Democratic Party.
Why am I not surprised?
Because even conservatives thought it was full of shit.
Pretty much.
Poorly researched, haphazardly strung together. I mean, honestly, it's sort of like the opposing type of thing, like a Fahrenheit 9/11 type of thing,
Yeah.
I tried to watch Fahrenheit 9/11 once. I got about, I want to say, 3 minutes before I turned it off. I was like, nope, this guy needs to shut up. All right, well, out of 15, what do you say, Peyton?
I'll give it a 12 because, yeah, most of those do sound like, nope, I'd get my money back from the ticket booth.
Yeah. I haven't even, have you seen any of the, oh, you saw The God's Not Dead too, any of the others?
I think,
I haven't seen any of these.
I'm almost certain that I was watching Cabin Fever once because it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime, so.
Yeah. I mean, I would say if you're going to watch Cabin Fever, just watch the first one. It's not even that old of a movie. It was 2003. I mean.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 13. I guess it just seems like the right number to give. All right. Let's say we do one more. I know it's not the longest show we've ever done, but I gotta get to bed soon.
Yeah, you gotta work, don't you?
Gotta be back at midnight.
Oh shit, yeah.
So let's see, out of all these tabs that I have open, which one am I going to do? Because so many of them are lists. Okay, here's a good one. This is from listverse.com.
All right.
It is 10 classic films that nearly starred the last actor that you'd expect. So, an example, I haven't read this yet, but an example that I can come up with off the top of my head is the, actually it is, you know what? It's number 10 on the list, so I might as well not even say it. You remember the 1989 Batman movie, right?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was Batman. Guess who almost was Batman? Bill Murray was almost Batman.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
Now, I mean, to be honest, that does sound completely ridiculous, but at the same time, if you remember back then, the idea of Michael Keaton playing Batman also sounded completely ridiculous.
Exactly, because he did that movie, Mr. Mom, if I remember correctly.
Yes, everybody thought, oh my god, not the guy from Mr. Mom.
But then he did it, and it's like, wow. And then he does something like, I think it was Beetlejuice right after that, and it's like, yeah.
Was Beetlejuice before Batman or after Batman?
That's a good question. I gotta look that up.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, Beetlejuice was first.
Wow.
Beetlejuice was 1988.
Damn, one of my favorite movies is as old as I am.
There you go. Bill Murray, I mean, I'm a big fan of Bill Murray, but I can't imagine him as Batman. I mean, what is he going to do to the Joker? Be sarcastic to him?
Possibly.
Yeah.
This is true. This man has no dick.
It's true. This man has no dick. Number 9, Michael Jackson almost played Doctor Who.
Hello?
No, my mind is blown. That's why I'm not making any noise.
Well, you got Robot there for a second. I'm like, oh, crap. Universe.
Michael Jackson almost played Doctor Who.
Oh.
Sonic screwdriver and save all the children.
Across my heart while doing moonwalk.
Go into the TARDIS and be like, Shimon! Ugh. Number 8, Marilyn Manson almost played Willy Wonka.
No, that would have just been wrong on so many levels.
But wait a minute. Don't you think that that would have been a better choice than Johnny Depp?
Actually, no.
Didn't Marilyn Manson do that song, though, that was, like, based on the boat ride part?
Yeah.
I mean, so clearly he's a fan. He knows the character. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, but it was, didn't Tim Burton do it?
Yeah, exactly. It was Tim Burton.
Yeah. Tim Burton is always going to try and get Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, and, his regular posse to collaborate.
I would love to have seen Marilyn Manson play Willy Wonka. All right, number 7, Nicolas Cage almost played Hellboy, really?
Well, thank God for that.
I liked Hellboy, and I liked Hellboy 2, and if it was Nicolas Cage in those movies, I probably wouldn't have liked them. He's terrible. I don't understand. Remember when he was a good actor? What the hell happened to him?
I don't know.
Number 6, Tom Cruise almost played Captain Planet.
That movie's not even out yet.
Well, I guess he's not doing it.
Good.
Wow. Number 5, Jack Nicholson almost played Michael Corleone.
Wow.
Jeez. I'm trying to imagine that. I mean, it wound up going to Al Pacino, obviously. I mean, Jack Nicholson's a great actor, but I think that would have been weird. All right, number 4, Al Pacino almost played Han Solo.
Wow.
I can't.
That's actually kind of
I can't imagine it.
exactly.
I honestly like Han Solo. I can't imagine anybody but Harrison Ford as Han Solo. When I think of Han Solo, I think Harrison Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 3, Burt Reynolds almost played James Bond.
That would have been funny.
Apparently, he was the first thing they thought of when they needed to replace Sean Connery. He refused the role because he felt that an American actor can't play James Bond.
Don't tell Sean Connery that.
Well, Sean Connery was not an American actor.
Wait. What? He wasn't?
He's Scottish.
Well, shit!
Dude, he doesn't even try to hide his accent.
I gotta watch something of his again because I don't even remember him having one.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Oh, God damn it, now I remember.
Yeah. Number 2, Tom Selleck almost played Indiana Jones. I could actually see the logic behind that, but I'm glad it didn't turn out to be that way.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And finally, number 1, O.J. Simpson was almost the Terminator.
I remember that.
You know why O.J. Simpson is not the Terminator?
Because Schwarzenegger was supposed to play the good guy, but then he flat out said at the last minute, no, let me play the bad guy.
No, listen to this. This is the reason why. This is from James Cameron's mouth.
All right.
I wasn't interested in an African-American man chasing around a white girl with a knife. And he didn't... Whoa, wait. I'm not done. And he just didn't think that anyone would believe that O.J. Simpson could be a killer.
Double ouch.
We might have reconsidered it after he killed his wife. Yeah.
Wow.
So out of 10, I gotta give that a 10. That was...
He gets a 10 out of me.
My mind was blown a few times on that one.
I just can't believe I fucked up Sean Connery so bad. Like, people are going to watch and be like, is Peyton stupid or something?
You thought... You must have had him confused with somebody else.
I think so, too.
They've never had an American play James Bond. You know that, right?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Yeah, Sean Connery... Well, okay, to be fair, there was an American actor to play James Bond on a TV show in the 50s, but I'm not counting that. But they had Sean Connery. He was Scottish, and Lazenby was Australian, Roger Moore.
Roger Moore was
English.
actually English.
Yeah, he's English. What's his face? Pierce Brosnan's Irish. Tim,
yeah, he was Irish.
What? I can't think of his name. He was in two of my favorites, and I can't think of his name. The guy before Pierce Brosnan, Tim something.
License to Kill. Hang on.
Yeah, and The Living Daylights. Why can't I think of his name now?
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. He's Welsh.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Craig is English as well, I believe.
Well, fuck me running. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, and I guess we'll find out who's going to be Bond next, because from what I've heard, Daniel Craig really doesn't want to do another one.
Well, after doing 4 of them, really good 4 of them too, I might add. But
yeah, I do think he had 4 good ones. Even he had 2 that were amazing and 2 that were good. He didn't have any bad ones, And I thought Spectre, the way they ended it, it was like the perfect stepping off point.
Right. I figured James Bond should go the way of Doctor Who and just have different forms.
Who do you think should play James Bond next? Like if you could pick, like if you were the guy in charge of picking. Paid him the casting director.
I'm trying my best not to be funny here.
Don't be funny. Tell me what you think.
Just to be a dick, Danny DeVito.
My name is Bond. James Bond. You got a James Bond super spy that's about 2 feet tall. About 2 feet tall, 3 feet wide. I shouldn't talk shit. You know what's funny? You know what role the internet wants Danny DeVito to be?
What's that?
They want him to be Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
I think that would be hilarious. But yeah, apparently there's a sect of the internet that is obsessed with the idea of Danny DeVito playing Pikachu.
He's got the right size.
Now, you know who would be a great James Bond is Michael Fassbender.
I can't say I've heard of him.
He's the dude that plays Magneto, man.
Ian McKellen gave that roll up.
Young Magneto.
Oh. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
From like First Class and Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't you see him as James Bond? He has the look. He's British.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
British dude, decent actor, looks like James Bond already. I mean, he looks more like James Bond than James Bond. So let's face it. Anyway, that's been the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll be back before you know it for List Critics, too, because this is a short-ass month.
Yeah. Give it a couple weeks. We'll be back.
Yeah, right. See you guys!
Later.
Vamping. While I bring up my recording software. Bye-bye.